So, Joe, if you were listening driving in, I don't know what part of the show you were listening to. There's been a lot of debate about what Washington should do at quarterback. Now today we were talking about Derek Carr. You've heard all of these names. Clearly Matthew Stafford's off the board. Let's say that Washington is not able to get Deshaun Watson. That's going to be a high price. And Derek Carr doesn't get traded by the Raiders. What do you think they should do? Do you think they just run it back with Alex Smith and the guys, draft somebody? What does Joe Theismann do if he's running the Washington football team?
You know, I listened to the debate, and everybody makes great points because, you know, this is a very unusual year because we have guys that didn't perform to the level on the teams like, you know, Derek Carr, Jared Goff is now gone on to Detroit. I think Carson Wentz is an X factor out there. Could Carson Wentz be the next Ryan Tannehill? Where you don't, you know, you didn't get a chance to participate in the Super Bowl. You had a terrific year going. All of a sudden you were hurt, and now maybe a change of scenery can get you an opportunity to be a better player than you showed over this particular year. I think right now, if I'm not giving up number ones, okay? You look at the value of the first round picks that we have gotten, our 4 defensive guys, 5 counting Ryan. But you look at the last 4 who we got and the impact that they have made on this football team. I think the draft choices have a greater value for us than they would giving them away for someone else. I think you can really start by looking at Taylor and say, okay, finish the season strong, understands the system. Remember, he's been in this system with a year in Minnesota with Norv. Scott runs the same system here, and he had him in Carolina and here. So you go there. Alex is an economic decision. Do we pay Alex $20 million? Can he do the things that Taylor can do? I don't believe he can anymore. I think Alex would love to play. I know I wanted to play. But, you know, what can you do physically to contribute to making the offense complete and dynamic? I still think you maybe draft a quarterback. You might find one. Remember, Montana was a 3rd-round pick. I was a 4th-round pick. Brady was a 6th-round pick. Just because you're taking a quarterback in the 1st round is no guarantee whatsoever that they're going to develop into whatever you think they might become. So I still think quarterback is a position we need to find someone. I'm not sure if I'd pay $25-30 million for a guy off the street. It would depend on his age, and it would depend on his athletic skills. Derek Carr to me is very interesting, but I don't know if John's willing to give him up because whenever you talk about a quarterback leading a team, what is the next best option? Who's the quarterback in with the Raiders? Is it Mariota or is it Mariota? Maybe Mariota's a guy you look at there. But this is a rare year where there are a lot of names on the table where you really scratch your head and say, okay, what's the economic commitment for us? I'm not giving up a number one. And I heard something really stupid the other night. They were talking about 2 number ones and Chase Young for Deshaun Watson. Are you out of your mind?
Ooh.
I don't know where it came from, but
I think Bickle would do that. Eric would do it.
Well, I think no,
for
Deshaun,
you can't.
For Deshaun Watson,
you can't.
Yeah.
For Deshaun Watson, you can't. I'm telling you, we've seen crazy. This isn't 2 number ones for players isn't unusual. Remember Keyshawn Johnson, they traded 2 number ones for him. Joey Galloway, Seattle traded 2 number ones for him. These are wide receivers.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've proven it. It's tough to win without a quarterback. Certainly, New England proved it more than anybody, and then Tampa proved it on the other side that you have to have the guy behind center. But I this is something maybe you guys haven't talked about this, but I'm curious. Deshaun Watson signs a 4-year, I think it's $172 million contract. The number's crazy. 4 months ago, now he wants out.
Right.
My question would be to him, why did you sign the contract?
Because you can't not sign it,
What is
Joe.
going on?
You can't not sign that deal when they put it in front of you.
Yeah, you'd sign it. Even if you didn't want to be
That's
there.
true. That's true too, Joe. If someone offers you $172 million, you're signing it. I don't care if it's Iraq.
Even though I hate the organization, if somebody puts a piece of paper that all I have to do is sign it, and I get $172 million, I'm sorry, I'm signing it.
Joe, that's a good point.
But here's my point. 4 months later, you're upset.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
See, here's the thing. As a player,
he's a good kid. Everybody says he's a good person too.
Terrific kid. Had a chance to spend time with him at a Super Bowl a few years back when he was a rookie coming out. He's a wonderful kid. What I'm trying to understand is the Houston Texans cannot afford to trade Deshaun Watson. You already gave away DeAndre Hopkins, okay, which pissed everybody off down there. Now all of a sudden you trade a quarterback. And here's the question, I posed before. If you trade him, what do you go get? Because now you got a new coach, a new system to learn. You have someone who has really established himself in the Houston community as a terrific young man. So you lose the PR part of it, and you're basically starting over from scratch. So the pluses and minuses with the Deshaun trade, there's a lot more minuses in my mind than there are pluses.
Well, that's probably true, but look, I don't think they're going to trade him. But let's say
I don't either.
Let's say they love Justin Fields and they're able to draft Justin Fields, and they trade Deshaun Watson, and they get this draft capital from the Jets, and they get certain players, and they get more draft picks. I guess that's the argument.
You're still bringing in unknown entities. You know what you've got in Deshaun.
Sure.
You have potential. You've got a kid that's performed, not just potential, but he's performed. The quarterback position, and how many times have you heard me say this? Probably ad nauseum. The quarterback position is the single most dependent position on the field. You have to have the players around you. I mean, you need to play at a certain level, but you have to have the players around you if you're going to have any kind of success as a team. You need a kicking game. You need a defense. You need an offensive line. You need a running game. You need receivers. They all make that position much more effective. And I think now, I know he was upset that they didn't talk to him about a general manager and a coach from what I heard. Mm-hmm. But what time did he have during the season to be able to figure out who was going to be in the market as a coach or a general manager? Right. Now it's up to the coach and general manager and say, let's sit down and talk about what do you think we can do with our football team to make us better together. Joe, you're our quarterback.
Joe, we got to run. Just in 10 seconds or less, what's your Super Bowl prediction?
I like Kansas City to cover.